Hello, Sonic movie fans, and welcome to episode 140 of the Sonic Movie Show, the only show that's about Sonic news, movie news, and Sonic movie news. My name is Ethan, and with me here to do those things is Devin.
It's no use. Take this.
That's from Sonic 06 by Silver.
How the fuck did you know that?
Because that's a meme, Devin. That boss fight, which...
I'm a fake fan. We know this. Everyone knows this. I'm a fake fan. So anything... It's old for you, but it's new for me.
Here's the thing. There might be one day in which... I don't really think we really need to keep this a secret. There might be one day in which you play Sonic 06. Perhaps you have the means to do so right now on a PlayStation 3 that I own. With a copy that I own 2 copies of that game, and you have one. There is a silver boss fight when you're as Sonic, and it's really easy to get looped, where he picks you up, throws you in a corner, and you don't have enough time to recover out of that. And he picks you back up again and throws you. And he just keeps saying, "It's no use. Take this. It's no use."
The Sonic,
over and over
real
again.
Sonic fans, they get tuned out because I'm a fake fan.
Well, no,
I
we gotta train
I haven't
you.
played everyone. Sorry,
I have not played.
I haven't played a majority of them.
Well, I am a bigger Sonic fan, but I'm gonna tell you all my holes. Oof, in the Sonic games. I have never beaten Sonic 2 or Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles. Never played Sonic R, never played any of the Game Gear games.
Your parents wouldn't let you play that one.
Yeah. Never finished Shadow the Hedgehog, never finished Sonic Heroes, any one of the teams. Never played any of the Wii games besides obviously Sonic Colors. Played Sonic Advance 2, but not 1 or 3. There's a lot of games I never touched, right? You know what I mean? So like, it is what it is. You have no reason to play them.
I've always been
all.
a fan of the brand. That's the difference.
Exactly.
You're the gamer Sonic fan. I'm the brand Sonic fan.
You're the King Ice Sonic fan.
I'm the guy who puts the bare minimum into like knowing something, a pop culture thing, but at least I can like make one joke at a party. Or if someone says, "Have you seen Naruto?" and I'm like, "Yeah."
And you just pantomime him running.
That's all you know.
Yeah.
Have you seen this
have
episode?
They done?
Yeah, that episode was crazy.
Have they done? Dude, this dude can't even name all 5,000 volumes of One Piece.
Exactly.
There's legit like millions. Have they done an Eggman King Ice? I want that classic Eggman head with the big mustache and the round glasses as a King Ice.
I'll check that for you.
I would actually get that. With like the big mustache and it's just his round head with the glasses and the mustache. I would get that.
Oh, it doesn't look like there is.
I don't think there is. I think it's just the furry fucks.
I want Agent Stone.
Oh, so you want Sonic movie. I want Tom then.
You want Tom then? You can't take Tom.
Yeah. I want him with the t-shirt and everything. Like it's a torso King Ice.
You get his sheriff badge or whatever.
No, the little donut with the sunglasses.
Oh, that could be cool.
Yeah. There's that Twitter account, what was it, Zooms 24/7 or whatever it is that you follow with their account that's just a single frame from the movie.
I haven't seen him in a minute. Maybe the algorithm
last time I checked, because I don't really go on our Twitter account too often, like they're still in like the hotel room or something like that.
Let me see if they posted. Have they stopped? Oh, 1 minute ago. Okay, we're good. For some reason I haven't seen them.
What frame is it?
They're in the hotel scene.
See? And I looked at this like 2 weeks ago.
It's the part where Tom's looking at the TV and it says, "Should be reported to local authorities immediately," period. What's great is you can tell it is actually every single frame because you see the same caption for 60 tweets or whatever how many frames there is.
God. Yeah, because think about the length of time it takes for you to say that.
Yeah.
You know, the's 24 frames in a second.
Yeah, so it's at least 60 times. It seems like the same.
Shout outs to whatever that Twitter account
is. It's at Zooms 24/7. Which is funny is that they didn't say Sonic Zoom. It just says Zoom. It's like they can go in a different direction. They could do like the Doom movie, you know, or the Joker. Yeah. That would be good. Joker Zoom leading up to the second movie, which is movie news. Lady Gaga is going to be in it.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
What does the subtitle, because it's written in French, what does it stand for? Is it like Love in Twos or something? That's like the vibe I get It's like Folie à Deux, and I'm thinking that's like the joy of twos or something like that, or the folly of twos. I don't know. The Joker is in the sequel is hilarious because I did not like that Joker movie. I thought it was both pretentious, but not enough pretentious to actually be like have something to say. It's weird to say that, but hold on, let me finish. It was a little bit inspired, but also like, a little bit pretentious. The best thing about the sequel is that all the people that love the Joker movie hate the idea of the sequel being a musical, hate the idea of Lady Gaga being in it, and all the people I've seen online that hated the Joker movie love the idea that the sequel is a musical. So like, this is the perfect thing. This is perfect. I am actually legitimately curious about this movie in I might see this type of way. I would never have thought that. Never. That's movie news.
I was going to say, though, I think the reason you don't like the first one is because you've never, grew out your hair long enough to put it out a cop window and stick your tongue out like a dog. And, you drive into the street and, like, there's some, like, big epic music playing. And then, you stick your head out there. You haven't done that yet.
That's true.
And if you did,
I haven't danced down the stairs.
You've not danced down the stairs, specifically the stairs. Those are in Chicago, I guess.
Those are real stairs, and yes,
if you haven't gone,
jackasses still do that.
It's different. It's different for those people. So I want you to think about that next time.
Different. It's different. Today's episode of the Sonic Movie Show is a bunch of movie news stuff and a little bit of Sega stuff and a little bit of Sonic stuff. Wow, isn't this kind of what I say at the beginning of every episode, but actually true this time? The Sonic news and the movie news. Let's go back and forth. I want to start, if you don't mind.
Sure.
HBO Max.
Never heard of it.
I got to unsubscribe because I don't use it, and I forgot that I subscribed for something, and then I haven't gone back. This is a reminder that I should probably unsubscribe.
You really love the Justice League black and white version, and you just have that on repeat.
Yeah, exactly. Although I would watch like... there'd be some modern movies I would watch on a CRT, like an old like 50s black and white, tube TV. HBO Max is going to be merging next year with Discover Plus, not Discovery Plus, but Discover Plus, I guess is what it's called. WB and Warner Brothers. I think the full title of this entire conglomeration is Warner Brothers Discovery,
yeah,
or whatever.
It's kind of confusing.
Major shakeups at this company. They want the big things possible all in one thing. We got movie cancellations that are almost done because they aren't big enough budget, which is crazy. I'd rather lose money. They are combining, supposedly, well, they announced the plans today as of this recording, that next year in like the summer, about a year from now, HBO Max and Discover Plus will be merging, but also there's going to be a lot of layoffs probably because of this, because there's going to be a lot of redundancies, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So when we talk about this,
they're not going to like keep everyone and just be like, hey, we're all in the same building now. They're like, nah, we can just do like half of y'all because like,
we have 20 people doing a job that 8 people can do because, 10 over here and 10 over there. So yeah. And yeah, like, there was that Batgirl movie, which we didn't see anything about besides some stills of the actor in the costume, which is based off the Babs, is the artist's name, drawing for the Batgirl kind of reboot comic line. That's more of like purple leather and a yellow and black cape idea. There was that set photo where she posed in the costume. That movie is like done. It's in post-production. It cost them $90 million to make it, but that's too little money to have been worth making the movie, according to CEO David Zaslav.
I don't even get this logic of just okay, even if you don't think that, just fucking put it up, and if it's shit, it's shit, right?
Exactly.
Like, move on.
You release it on streaming. You know what I mean? You quietly release it, and it makes some money.
Don't even have to advertise it.
Hey, there's another movie we're going to be talking about where that was a success for them. We'll talk about that in a bit. So it's crazy to me that same thing with in 2020, one of the early pandemic movies was Scoob, the animated Scooby-Doo movie. Obviously, all those movies ate shit because of we don't know what the fuck is going on. There was a pandemic. What? I have to I can't just breathe into people's faces. You know, there's lots of confusion. And we know, obviously, being big Vin Diesel fans, there was Bloodshot. That was one of the other ones, right?
Yeah.
There was a sequel to Scoob that's done. It's done. It was supposed to come out in the fall, like in 2 months. They just shelved it. Why? Just put it up on HBO Max.
Such a waste of time for
Weird.
Literally everyone involved. And I can't imagine what it's like to work on something like making a movie and like you work hard on it, probably over a year or 2 years, depending on your role, and to have it just be like no one sees it. And it's not like they can like get a copy of it and show their family. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like just to have something to like. Even if it's shit, I'd rather put shit out than like if after working so much on it, like I'd rather it be shit and I get told that than like just hide it forever.
Right. It's so
it's not even
weird.
my choice though, which makes it even worse. Like
if this, the film industry, which has unions, might be different from the video game industry. If this was a video game that got shelved right at the last minute, no one that worked on it can say that they worked on it. Their resume cannot have it. Their LinkedIn cannot say that.
so
right?
dumb.
Which is fascinating to me. In like 1993, Nintendo was ready to, or maybe 1994, release Star Fox 2 for the Super Nintendo. Game was 97% done. But and it was, 3D graphics on the Super Nintendo like the first Star Fox. Very, very, very minimalist, doing stuff like that. Sega Saturn was coming out, the PlayStation was coming out, 3D art, and they were working on the N64, so they said, let's shelve this game because we don't want people to think this is our 3D offering. They didn't release that game until like 2017 on the Super Nintendo little mini console thing as like a look what we found in our office, while like people knew it existed because bits of it leaked. And like the main American person that worked on the 3D tech, basically it said like, yeah, we were working on a Star Fox sequel and it got canned when it was done. There's like 3 lines of code I need to finish, but it was done. Like if movies might be different, like these people still might be able to say, hey, I worked on Batgirl doing this type of work. I bet these people can at least throw that on their resume,
I mean, I think the industry is a lot different.
Crazy.
There's a difference between the like production companies in the sense of like the people who are distributing it. You know what I mean? There's a difference between that though and like who's deciding like who's going to be in a movie and whatnot. Because it seems like everyone was on board. It wasn't like the director's like, no, this is not going out. Like everyone was on board to do it. It's just like someone at the top, someone at the very top was like, nah, exactly. I don't want this going out because
and the only people that have
I don't want it out.
Yeah, like number one, they wanted movies to have Marvel's MCU budget stuff and effects, because this movie was initially just supposed to be for streaming. That's why it had I guess a lower budget. $90 million is a lot of money.
For a
Whatever.
TV show, yeah.
Well, it was a movie. It was a
movie. Oh,
yeah. But so that's one thing. But two, also like there were negative things about the movie said only by executives at Warner Brothers, not by anyone that worked on the movie. So like it's hard to really tell about it, but still, just release it. Why don't you make $3 instead of $0? You know what I mean? I bet
you they could make a good amount of money because superhero shit is still in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like someone like you might get a general audience member.
DC fans are starved for superhero movies because when was the last DC? It was Joker, but they don't count, or Suicide Squad.
The Batman.
Oh Jesus, the Batman. Never mind, I take it back. They're not starved. They want more, obviously.
They literally got a very good Batman.
I'm thinking about the fact that there's been a Flash movie that's probably not going to ever come out.
I think Aquaman is the next one.
And then Aquaman, which was
Shazam.
Shazam, you're right.
No.
I don't know what I'm
Black
talking
Adam.
about. I don't know what I'm talking about. Shut the fuck up, Ethan.
He's Shazam man, but he's
a bad guy.
He's the Rock.
Never mind. I was going to say something that's not going to make any sense for the sake of this podcast regarding that movie. But Zoa energy drink, sure.
They have
I don't know what I'm talking about. If I was saying Batgirl was like the only one on the horizon. Yeah, that Ezra Miller Flash movie. There's no way in hell that's coming out.
I am the shadows.
I'm the Flash. I'm a steel
My
kid.
voice is like shot today. So my Batman voice isn't as good. Sorry, folks.
This is crazy. And then there's also the fact that original HBO content is being delisted from HBO Max,
which is
just original made for HBO Max movies going away.
And so like I watched Raised by Wolves, which was like executive produced by Ridley Scott and is super alien-like in terms of its textures, I would say. Watched the first season. The second season came out, but we were watching a bunch of other stuff, so we're like, oh, we'll watch it later. But then like a month after it came out, they're like, oh, season 3 is canned. And I'm like, now I'm like not hyped to go watch the second one because it's like I don't want to get my hopes up. It's going to
end on some sort of mystery, right?
Yeah, and I'm bummed about that. And like all the actors were like tweeted about it being like, this is bullshit, basically. But it was HBO Max. I'm like, I wonder if that was ahead. They were trying to slowly cancel them, because I feel like they canceled a lot of shit. None of the stuff I really watched, but a lot on there. One thing I was worried about was Peacemaker. And James Gunn did tweet. He says, no, I will make sure that Peacemaker happens. And he has enough clout where, like, if HBO Max doesn't want it, he'll just go to fucking Disney or Amazon or whoever, Netflix, easily, I think. But I was worried about that one. I was just like...
Peacemaker is, the DC character, so...
Yeah.
But here is my assumption about all this, because it's the Discover Plus stuff that's being added in. And it's specifically all like the... flip this house and nutter my butter and all these stupid reality shows you see on like HGTV type of content stuff that are all coming in. Shows like that, shows like Friends and Big Bang Theory Jr. and all this stuff, like those are bigger drivers long term, I suspect, than what is worth by funding a $90 million Batgirl movie to gain a month of new subscribers that then bounce in these executives' eyes. It's easier to have for them to make more money by just having good, warm feeling, always for you, never leaving you content, stuff like that, than versus like original stuff by alien creator Ridley Scott that makes you think. I didn't watch the show, but I assume it's good, because I haven't heard anything negative about it. But like, how much did that cost versus getting the Magnolia Network people who like don't pay their people or whatever, like this husband and wife that are like legitimately look psychotic, that own half of these reality shows. Like, yeah, just like the same amount of money can be used to stretch their dollar further in their eyes.
It's all about maximizing profits at the end of the day. And
the fact that Warner Brothers' mission statement during this call or whatever is that they want to be the number one entertainment company says it all. They don't care about what they make. They just want it to make them lots of money.
Because that's what makes you number one. It's not the quality. It's necessarily not, it could be about the quantity, but at the end of the day, the quantity being money is what's important to them.
And it's funny too, because we're right around this time starting to get serious law discussions about brands and intellectual property actually being like valuable as they are in terms of money, as is to say, like, it might not be legal for Microsoft to keep Call of Duty only on Xbox and PC. It might not be legal for them. Sony is trying to say that it is, because it's in like the top 5 biggest entertainment properties in the world, that even the same talent, the same money made, trying to make the same type of product from another developer would not see any sort of success that Call of Duty has. If they just try to copy it with, blank checks, no one can match its success. It needs to exist everywhere type of thing. Like, we're at the point now where like intellectual property is like being looked at by lawmakers as a thing that's like as valuable as like a giant stack of money that a company has. Like, that gets tracked in some of their eyes. So like, we're going into this era, I feel like, where it doesn't matter like what you do, it's what you have. And that's just weird and creepy to me. It's like, this news is making me want to hop out of HBO. I don't know if I want to stay on this.
Well, I don't even know if it's going to rebrand to like something else again, which is crazy. I feel like they just switched to HBO Max like 2 years ago.
And like, we've gotten used to it, and like, it makes sense,
Now it's going to be something else. It's just commodities is just turning into sole ownership under things like Amazon, where it's just like, it makes you feel stupid if you don't have Amazon. Like you know what I mean? Like they have everything. You can literally you theoretically can never leave your house if you work from home and you have Amazon deliver your groceries, deliver entertainment. Yeah. They could find a service for everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so and they're gonna get into the food delivery service too, I imagine.
They already own what you call it,
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but like, yeah, it's just how it's gonna be. I feel like it's just how it works, baby. Nothing is safe.
We need to break all these fucking companies up. Jesus,
nothing is safe.
But did you see the? Sorry, I want just real quick before we move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I need the
next topic. Sorry, before we move on, do you see the slide from the presentation today of the two different markets that HBO Max has and Discover Plus has, where HBO Max is male skewed and Discover Plus is female skewed?
Oh my god!
I think Zendaya has something to say with you, Casey Bloys and. The other guy's name I said, the main CEO. Fuck, where's his name? The guy starts with the Z. I don't care. It's just there's plenty of shows that aren't male skewed on HBO. What the hell are you guys talking about? This is all Hollywood buzzwords. Okay, speaking of Hollywood buzzwords.
So Ethan, we've been going through some video game movies on this, actually, like, I guess a staple of our show, right?
Yeah. And it's the only thing that makes me happy.
We watched the first two Tomb Raider movies with Angelina Jolie, our girl, but we haven't watched the newest one, in quote, with Alicia.
And there was a good reason for why we didn't yet. We were holding it for a sequel to time it with the trailer.
Yeah, SEO. It's hard out here. But unfortunately, that's not happening. That's at least a direct sequel to the 2018 Tomb Raider with Alicia Vikander, like I said.
Which was apparently subtitled Obsidian, which is a dope-ass name, Tomb Raider Obsidian.
Well, it's not coming out. Maybe they can use it for whoever... I'm about to say it right here. So MGM lost the rights to the Tomb Raider series. And usually this is... my understanding, and I've seen this in other types of movies that have like long-standing franchises or characters like Predator or whatnot, that they're required to make a movie based off that thing that you own, or else it goes to someone else, which I kind of like. Generally, I think
two examples of that real quick. Ghost Rider 2 only happened because of that.
Yep.
And there were a couple Fantastic Four movies that were being filmed and worked on that were canceled just so that they could keep the rights.
Yeah, because it says that they had to. So this MGM, they lost the rights, and they had until May 1st, 2022 to start filming a sequel or lose the rights. So they could have just like did what they did with Batgirl and just canned it last second if it wasn't good, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say it to earnestly work on it.
But what's crazy is that they're not doing, like, they let this happen because Tomb Raider was a success. It had a $274 million box office haul. It had around $100 million budget. So it made a good $174 million, which is pretty good for a video game movie. If you've listened to our other episodes, we kind of talk about the box office numbers for these movies and compare them, like, to Sonic being the biggest box office success, both of them.
Yes, sir.
Because we get money out here, not these Tomb Raider shit. But yeah, they let the rights go, and not sure.
Do you know why? Probably because they got bought by Amazon. It got lost in the shuffle of bureaucracy and interpolitics of what do we need to do, what do we save? Because Amazon's like, we like the lion logo, let's buy a whole company.
Well, according to comicbook.com and one of their sources, they said MGM moved with no levels of urgency and expected to start filming in 2023, despite the May 1st deadline. So I guess that could still happen, but it's now
believed
this
movie was
that
supposed
Netflix,
to come out last year.
Yeah.
Initially.
It says it's now believed that Netflix and Warner Brothers are amongst the key names interested in picking up the rights to the Tomb Raider films, with Amazon expected to throw in its hat as well.
Which is funny to me because the Tomb Raider IP is now owned by Embracer Group, which is owned by Koch Media, which is now renamed to PlayEon. Is any of this related to Crystal Dynamics or Square? Square doesn't have anything to do with Tomb Raider besides the one game that they started to publish before selling off Crystal and Eidos brands.
Well, it says here too.
Who are they buying this from?
Netflix is already working on an animated Tomb Raider series. So,
right, okay.
But yeah, that's really all we got so far. I guess it says canceled in the report, but it also sounds like they wanted to start filming, so maybe that's still a possibility. But it doesn't sound like it.
Well, because okay, so we watched the first 2 Tomb Raider movies in a bit of a rush in terms of our schedule for video game stuff, because we were supposed to get this movie in like that spring.
Like 2019.
It was supposed to come out.
I felt like, yeah.
Oh, not 2019. This was 2021.
Okay.
This was a year ago. We did not start this podcast. Yeah, we were a year in. We're like a year into the 2020 stuff when you're like, okay, we need to catch up on all the Tomb Raiders before the next Tomb Raider movie. And it was at the point where we're like, all right, now it's time to watch this Tomb Raider reboot movie. But like the movie's supposed to come out in a month and we don't have any. There's not even a trailer or any images or an actual name, like what's going on. So we decided to wait until there was news. Well, the news is that there is no news. It's canceled. There's Alicia Vikander, who is the main actress there. Her posture makes her look like she has a really long neck, and it always weirds me out.
You said that last time, and I think that's rude.
Well, I mean, it is, but like, I'm not trying to be rude. Like, it's the first thing I think about. That movie did really well streaming. That's what I was alluding to in the last topic. This movie did really well in streaming. Like, after the fact, it did well enough that like there was a general buzz about the movie's sequel. Apparently there's and whenever it comes to executives canceling something, it always seems like there's a he said, she said type of thing where she being Alicia Vikander and the director say like, oh, we were doing great and blah, 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 blah. And then the executive, he says, oh, well, Vikander was asking for too much money and we were having to negotiate or whatever. Like there's that stuff going on, but it's kind of disappointing. I guess that means we won't see a Tomb Raider movie for another 5 years.
Probably.
Right? 4 years.
I think it's time for me to take the mantle.
You're going to direct Tomb Raider?
No, I'm going to be Lara Croft.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, you can pull it off.
Why not? Yeah.
You can pull it off.
Why not?
Yeah.
Clearly, they ain't in a rush.
I always thought Lara Croft should have been Smash Brothers. And like the stage should have been
she also could have
the
been
first
Dino
level
Crisis.
of that first game, which was like a snowy mountaintop. I think it'd be cool. And like we walk into a temple.
If she was in Dino Crisis, I think that'd be cooler.
I think if Dino Crisis is in Smash, that would be cool as well.
I just want to be a dinosaur.
But like, that's a really obscure game that no one cares about. So
I want to either be Lara Croft or a dinosaur in the next Lara Croft movie. Oh, Lara Croft prehistoric. She goes back in time.
Or Lara Croft visits Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah.
Kills them all.
Starring Chris
Speaking
Pratt.
about Chris Pratt, no, speaking about ancient things we bring back again, mini consoles are a thing that have, kind of lost interest over time. Yep. And, Nintendo did 2 of them that were stupidly crazy popular. I have them both. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Sega made a Genesis Mini that was pretty well received. Sony made an extremely terrible PlayStation 1. There was a Capcom arcade stick in the shape of the giant Capcom logo fit for 2 people. That was a mini console. There has been Sega Astro City mini consoles. There has been a bunch of different
Nintendo Switch.
Yes, there's been a bunch of different SNK Neo Geo stuff. There's been a mini Commodore 64. That was a keyboard. That's just a small thing that you plug an actual keyboard into now. All of these had come out. I feel like they've kind of died, but instead in terms of being dead, they kind of became just an actual collector's item of like, people only want these for the collection. They're not actually trying to market these as like a cool way to play games from the past, because you clearly can't play any of these now. All of these Sega games I feel like are on in the Sega Genesis Mini 2 that we're about to talk about. I feel like are on the Switch Genesis collection, and just there's always a million Genesis collection stuff. So it's not like these are like the rarest way to play this game. But yeah,
this is technically my first console though, so it's kind of cute looking at this. I'm like, oh,
yeah, and I mean Genesis is obviously a fan favorite machine. The original one came out in 2019, but there is a semiconductor shortage, which is kind of making this one a limited run. Like they're not making too many, which is also probably because they probably know that they're not gonna sell too many, so you might as well sell them fast. Exactly. You stress that there aren't that many of them, and that's when you sell them fast and for a good amount of change. You know what I mean? You don't. We bought our PlayStation classic consoles for like $20. It felt like because like they couldn't get rid of them. They made too many.
They're gonna make them. They're only gonna make 3,000 and not that less, but like they could make 3,000, and then make the price $100. And if it costs $25 to make, making big money right there.
Yeah, and there's some Sega CD games on this list, including Outrun, which I love. Outrun, you love Outrun. We all love Outrun. You drive a Ferrari in that game, and the music is actually legitimately incredible. Legit, like top 10 gaming soundtracks of all time. It's less a racing game, more of a driving game. You're just literally, you are vibing. But yeah, it's a bit of an increase in terms of the price from the original, but they're going to say, oh yes, it's because of the Sega CD games and just the fact that it's limited.
Yeah, it was $125. I was joking about the $100.
Yeah, no, it's up there. Yeah, so there was originally just going to be Japanese only, but through Amazon, .co.jp or whatever the link is, like, well, we'll just, make some NTSC. Well, no, Japan is NTSC. So we'll just make some American box art version of this box and flash the English language versions of the ROMs in there.
I do like the 90s look of it. Nothing screams 90s like box arts with like a giant colored border bar, or border, and then just have black with lines. Like this just screams 90s for me. Like 90s marketing. Because
like the Sega Genesis box arts, their branding changed like 3 or maybe even 4 times over the course of that system. And they liked the giant bar on the left-hand side that says the name of the console, Genesis or 32X or Sega CD or Saturn, right? Early Saturn games had that. I actually prefer the original Sega Genesis box art, which was like a grid with then like a small picture in the middle, the word Sega at the top, and like plain text for the name of the game.
Yeah,
just looks so bad, but like in a way that I feel like ages better than.
So well.
I feel like it ages better than like the other Sega Genesis box arts, in my opinion.
No, there's definitely an aesthetic to it that is definitely in right now, marketing wise. I feel like. Question.
Answer.
Not totally related, but kind of related. Do you think we'll ever get something like this with like cell phones? And if so, when do you think that'll be? Like, imagine
the Razr,
like bringing back like the BlackBerry in like 30 years, and just like it's something like this where it's whatever the future is for phones of how they look and feel and all that. They'll try to keep a little bit of that, but make it still that retro look. I'm waiting for that to happen. I think it's like iPhone, like the original iPhone. I bet you that shit would sell. I mean,
I'm nostalgic. My first phone was an iPhone 3G, and I wish I had that. And I go on eBay every now and then, and I look. I don't touch, but I look, and I know, okay, it's not an insanely high price. It's reasonable to get a secondhand iPhone. No one really wants one. People want one to have. Okay. I don't know. I mean, like, the Razr brand came back as a flip phone, like, folding screen thing. That's not what you're talking about. That's just the brand.
Like the Sega Genesis.
What you're talking about is you make the original Razr phone again.
Yeah, but they just
I don't know.
With some sort of
here's what I can
enhancements, but
I can see this happening in Japan with a flip phone type over there. Maybe the one they had in Advent Children. That was the product placement. Because there were a lot of flip phone games in Japan. There was a Kingdom Hearts game. There was a Final Fantasy VII. There was a couple Final Fantasy VII games, etc. There's a bunch of flip phone era cell phone games in Japan that are gone, so to speak. I mean, they're all preservationists have captured them all, to my knowledge, or at least all of the ones of some import. I can see like a mini console. It's just one of those phones that we dumped all the ROMs on.
I'm imagining
I don't know.
an iPod, like an iPod Touch or something in like 2040.
Well, that's the thing is, when are we going to get the original iPod style back? Do you really think that would happen now? I don't know.
I'm saying they do it, and it just has like you can't like use it like a regular phone now, where like you can go to the App Store, like there'd already be pre-installed like classic apps on there, and like maybe the camera on it takes pictures just like they did. Because I think that's like, I find that interesting is like, some people still use film cameras, right, to make movies, and it has that effect that you can't even digitize. Like it's just different,
right?
You know what I mean? Film versus that. But imagine like, okay, like you can bring back like the iPhone 2 and be like,
that was called the 3G, and
like have like the original camera on there, and like you can advertise it almost in that way. Be like, remember when you were taking photos of this, for Facebook? Well, you can do it again.
It's back. Remember when you had to turn the phone around because we only had one camera on all these phones? I don't see Apple ever doing that, because Apple never looks back. They always look forward and think, because you talk about the app stuff. Their app store retroactively, like, basically deletes those old, like, you can't get those old apps anymore, or those old versions. Like, and,
imagine they have the original iOS on there and shit, just for shits and giggles. It's just for the nostalgia, because that's what this is.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I think someone else would do that,
like
first.
Old Twitter. Like
I remember old Twitter.
Twitter.
I have screenshots of I have screenshots of 2010 Twitter. Remember when the logo was the way it was, and that turned into what, like, the current Twitter logo kind of looks like Sonic.
It is Sonic.
If you rotate it,
people don't know this. It is Sonic, but like they use like a cookie cutter frame of a bird, but people don't. It's actually a very big close up of Sonic, like his fur. People
it's just rotated clockwise.
No, I mean it's just like straight on, but it's crossed.
Oh, it's just the Sonic blue.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, Sega Genesis Mini 2. That sure is a thing.
Bring back the BlackBerry. I will buy it.
I mean, yes, he actually did like the BlackBerry. So, BlackBerry actually is a brand that tries to come back, but like never really succeeds. But
that's why I go with my Raspberry Pi.
That's two different things. Speaking about something that is awful and should not happen, like the BlackBerry. Well, let's talk about something serious now.
This is actually serious. It's my turn. Bungie, you know them, right? You've heard of them. They made the Halo Man. They made the Halo Man originally, and they do other things now, like Destiny 2, a big hit.
Yep.
Well, they've been getting this is from Forbes.com. They said Bungie harassment, and they do go into it more in depth, but this isn't really harassment. It's I think worse than that. It's just
there's threats of violence,
hate crime level of shit.
Yeah.
So basically, my understanding is it's like individual Destiny 2 players, or like a small group of them, probably alt-right motherfuckers, lowlives, who are sending voicemails like to developers of Destiny 2, like to their home addresses, not like the corporate office, like to their home phones, their
houses.
There's been racist voicemails. There's also been letters sent, and
proof that they know the address. There was a pizza that was delivered.
Yeah. I think at one point there was, if I remember it correctly. Yeah, because they enjoy it. So I'll read about the pizza thing to go more detail. Another voicemail was left saying to enjoy your pizza, and it was a pizza that was delivered to the unlisted home address. This prompted them to call local police and file a report and raise concerns about swatting. So that's when the SWAT, you call the police on someone like there's a hostage situation. They said,
yep, because when there is a hostage situation, like they don't take chances. Like they go in and they, and obviously you could argue it depends. Like your rights might be violated there, but like
awful at doing that kind of stuff, like Breonna Taylor, which those cops are finally getting some trials.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that. Oh, good.
Announced today. Yep. But yeah, this is just, to me, I hate to say classic, but just classic shitty fucking gamer energy where
it's not unexpected that something like this could occur.
Yeah, and I'm sure Bungie's not alone in this, but I think it's just more threats to violence. I think is a little bit higher. And
they've been in a lot of lawsuits going after people like this, going after. I mean, it starts off, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks at home. After people like hacking the game and stuff like that, but then it evolved into going after people that attack their devs, their people, like.
And this is all.
And the fact that there's still any opinion, and obviously normal people don't have this opinion, but the fact that there's even these fringe people who have this opinion that Bungie is still somehow in some sort of wrong over lawsuits and stuff like this is crazy to me.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Forbes says here, there has been a small pocket of pushback against Bungie's recent stances on harassment in the lawsuits they filed, with some dismissing it as just trolling or kids making jokes. But the more details emerge about the different forms this has taken, the more it's clear just how serious this is. So
yeah,
it's
to me, that's
what alt-right motherfuckers do, is they just try to get a reaction out of people, and then they'll just always justify it as, oh, it's just a joke, just a prank, or you're being reactionary, blah blah blah.
Yeah, what's the term?
Want, and then they get more attention from that. It's just So this is just fucking shitty. I don't know. To me, like, this is, I don't want to say a non-story because everything in this fucked up world is a story, but like this just feels like another gamers fucking suck.
Some people don't deserve video games. Like. That sounds like a weird thing to say, as if it's not really like a thing, but like, if these people didn't have these games, they probably would not be nearly as toxic towards people.
Too. Like, just don't play you don't have to play the game.
Nah, these people, they spend so much money and time, like it has to be their identity now, and the fact that the company likes the gay people, that's obscene. Like, we can't have that. I gotta go find where these people live. Like, Jesus.
But, I mean, this is also, to me, not surprising in the sense that there's just been, with the rise of fascism in the United States, like, this shit is going to become more and more rampant, and it's going to be...
People feel comfortable.
Yeah, they feel comfortable, and then they're going to be more and more explicit of their actions.
Yep. I mean, like, what's more comfortable than thinking you can stroll in with your grandma into the Capitol?
Yeah, exactly.
You know? I don't like to fearmonger, but that stuff like this isn't like gone. You know what I mean? Like, there is still the tension that suggests that like, and you see it in like video game playing gamers, like enthusiasts, whether enthusiasts or regular, like it's a hobby. You know what I mean? Like, people say, "Oh, I'm a gamer." They say that because video games are a hobby. You know what I mean? Watching movies. People don't necessarily say, "Oh, I'm a movie goer" by simply watching movies, but it's very rare for someone that says, "Oh, I play games," and they're not considering themselves a gamer.
Yeah,
because usually video games is some sort of a hobby.
They'll put it on their dating app as a hobby, but they might not put movies on there necessarily.
Right, exactly. Games are a hobby.
It makes you...
Hobbies like to gatekeep, or hobbyists like to gatekeep. They like to name five cars in Gran Turismo. It's whatever, you know what I mean?
Name five cars.
That's dumb.
Do they have regular brand cars? I don't think they do in that. Do they?
In Gran Turismo?
Or sorry, I thought you said Grand Theft Auto. I was like,
oh no, not Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, but then still funny both ways.
Well, Ridge Racer has no real cars, but they all kind of sound like they're real and all kind of look like they could be real. Gatekeeping people, they like their hobbies so much that they hate the idea of other people enjoying it. That's where, in my opinion, besides having bigoted opinions and where that begins, which is usually just being a shitty person. It's not necessarily an affect of economics or anything like that. Some people are just shitty and they have that. But besides that, you combine that with the hobbyist mentality of like, I do not like the idea that there are non-white men playing Destiny 2. I need to tell these people that to not let these people in. You know, like the voicemail was asking for an N-word killing gun. Like, ugh.
Yeah, just... Oh, by the way, I guess this is also a call to arms in this way. And I mean arms virtually.
Grab your Gallahorn.
Yeah.
That's the rocket launcher.
No, but really, like, in your games, if we need to be doing better of just, like, either just blocking that shit, or if it's someone you know, like, call them out on it. Like, and I know they're going to scream cancel culture and all that dumb shit. Fuck them. Stop making them feel comfortable. Because even... Yeah, because that's the thing. They want your reaction, but like if everyone starts doing it though, eventually they're either gonna get the attention they wanted is not the attention they want is your reaction, like one or two people, right? But if everyone goes after them, then that's when they get fucking scared.
It's the comfortability. Here's how alt-right people work: they find a community, and usually it's because of a hobby or something that they like that's a part of it that's not a part of their bigoted views. Well, I guess that is just the bigoted viewpoint. They find a community online. There is some level of anonymity, but there's also some level of knowing that's that guy. Anonymous, this person, username. Like there's both anonymous part of it, and there's also a community aspect of everyone knows your name type of thing, your fake name. They get into one of these things, and they become a regular, so to speak. And then they start throwing in a little bit of their real personality in there, whether it's because they feel comfortable or whether it's they're actually trying to change this community. A little bit more and more like, oh, it's weird that he made a joke about Jews. Well, I mean, that's Johnny Silverhand 69420. You know what I mean? You know, so, and he's been around, like, he's obviously joking. Everyone's joking, or, you know, like, whatever. It's just, we're all having fun. And then, like, someone comes in that's new and sees Johnny Silverhand 69420 say that they're from Kekistan and they're going to gas the chambers and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, then this new person's like, yo, what the fuck? Why are you talking like that? Johnny Silverhand 69420 says, this guy's trying to tear us apart our community. That's how these people operate.
Yeah.
They try to get people that are, well, yes, you know, that's how these people operate. And it's the comfortability. It's the comfortability that makes them stick around. I talked about this on a stream recently about a community that Devin and I are on into occasionally, that I stream some of the stuff on. I was talking to some people from that community about it.
It's like us and, like, you know, marijuana. We dabble in here and there.
Exactly. So when people are comfortable, they stick around. And you need to, in order to weed these people out, you need to make them uncomfortable about this aspect about themselves, etc. Right? You can't just be like, when no one really knows about it and like a couple people give them a bad reaction and they just kind of like stay, but they stop saying that stuff. Eventually they just come back and they try again. In order to actually get these people to leave, you need to tell them to fuck off. And if it feels like it's against, you know, some sort of code of conduct to part your community, make a strong case as to why no. I am a strong proponent of the moderation rules that some Twitch streamers have. You have this, I imagine. I definitely have this. I don't need a reason to ban you. If you're just setting off a bad vibe, and what I mean by that is you're doing this sort of like, haha, but black people, or like weird little things like that, you're gone. I don't care.
And we're
you're
two
gone.
White streamers. You can see this shit in a lot of like streamers who are, you know, like if they're trans, for example.
Oh, it's exponential.
It's exponential
there, right?
And they do keywords of shit, like they'll have like certain numbers in their username that represent some Nazi shit.
Yeah, dog whistles.
Yeah, and shit like that. So, or people of color streamers that like that Twitch doesn't help at all when it comes. They only bring them out for Black History Month. So, well,
yes, when it comes to marketing, yeah.
But yeah,
that's the thing. Like,
if you like, if we're talking crazy, just literally like lurk in like any of the people we just talked about streams and just wait long enough. There will be at least one within a week, if not.
And when
every day,
when these people feel comfortable, and when they see more than just themselves doing it, that's how they feel. Like, I guess more comfortable is, I guess, really what I'm trying to say. They stick around longer. In my opinion, communities small communities, whether it be a person's, YouTube or Twitch, or it's a video games forums, or even something as big as Destiny 2 to an extent. If you're playing in a clan and you see someone talking like that, you call them out right then and there. And if you need to threaten to leave the group, then do that. You know what I mean? Have people make a stand, bring attention to this stuff. It is...
Form a union in your Discord.
It is interesting. Discords, yeah. It is interesting. You'd be surprised, people, how little other people in communities like ones you might be in, you'd be surprised how little they see of these instances. They might see one. They might see one from a person. They might not see all of them. And you saw it one time and you pay attention because you're like, I don't like this person, but no one else seems to ever notice or care, type of thing. And then eventually they say something and someone says, whoa, what the hell? And then they simmer down, they stop, and then they come back and no one remembers. Call it out when you see it. Call it out when you see it. Speaking about calling things out when you see it, hey, guess what I saw today on Twitter? I saw a render of Sonic grinding a rail in the sky.
He went from like real shit to like, yeah, Sonic's in the sky, baby.
I had a few different segues in mind before, and they were all at bad times. I'm like, wow, this...
No, you pulled a Doctor Strange, you saw the outcomes in your head, and you picked the one where we went.
I picked the one where I lived.
Well, yeah, where you specifically lived.
Yeah. God, I wish that movie said that. It was kind of hinting at that idea, but it didn't say it.
Yeah, they could.
That the one in 9 trillion was the only one he lived in. They won. Did not suggest that they wouldn't have won if he didn't live.
And you'll find our will strong as yours. Yeah. Got him.
He sacrificed Tony Stark. I mean, that's fair. Dude has too much money. Although Doctor Strange has a really nice house in New York City, so
yeah, I want to know who pays the property taxes on that every year.
Yeah, Sonic. Yes, at Sonic the Hedgehog tweeted out today, being August 4th at 2:53 p.m. Eastern Time. Yes, this is real Sonic Frontiers art. Period. Enter. Ellipses. More soon. And I swear the first time I saw it, and I'm like, it doesn't look like the Sonic in the game for whatever reason. And I thought it said Sonic. Yes, this is real Sonic Frontiers fan art. I thought I read that at first. I'm like, oh, they're trolling. No, this is real. I mean, it looks fine. It doesn't look super representative of what we've seen gameplay-wise. But for people that haven't seen it, let me quick describe it. It's up in the sky in an area that I don't think we've seen in-game. This is clearly a render, and this is clearly like art. Yeah, you can see the 2 giant Lord of the Rings statues from the river or whatever. Sonic is grinding a rail. You can see behind him a large box type floating structure with runways like and stuff all around it.
Upside down,
kind of. It looks like it looks like an upside down.
It's a Chaos Emerald.
Kind of. I mean, the top is square shaped, so I don't think it's the same amount of sides, but. Yeah, whatever. It's something for sure. Sonic is grinding this rail and he's looking about it. That's it. So this isn't really news, but it's interesting.
You can see the crops he's raising for his family of 4. Hopefully they survive the winter.
Right. I mean, everyone is trying to do a Stardew Valley game. I see Square making a game called Harvestella, where I'm like, yo, this is just... You repurposed some action RPG that wasn't working out all that well into a farming game. I can definitely tell.
But yeah, I added this to our list just because it originally leaked this image and people didn't know if it was real or not.
Oh, really?
And that's
that's news to me.
That's why they said, yeah, this is real. Like,
who cares? Well, it's leaked,
care.
But it's just an image.
The people care.
Last of Us Part 1. I wonder if this will be
like the back cover or something, or like the inside the disc with because the new thing now is to have the flipped like art poster kind of thing. Maybe
you see how some first party Nintendo Switch games. I mean, I'm mainly thinking about that first year. The back is a bunch of different screenshots and stuff of like Zelda and Mario Odyssey and stuff like that. I see like this is one of those. But speaking about leaks, or not Sonic Frontiers. Last of Us Part 1, PS5, PC, had footage leak. You and I talked about this personally. But then like Naughty Dog's like statement about it was how it was super harmful and hurtful and how they're super sad. And it's like, guys, the game comes out like next month and y'all didn't advertise it yet. Like, you're weird.
We had it's
like leaks happen.
Cry session at work today.
Yeah.
All right.
Over this.
We watched
some companies take leaks a little bit too hard.
We watched a certain character's death scene over and over again for an hour, so we can feel something after we read that comment.
It was Amy Rose.
Or read that.
Yeah,
read
we're
that
talking
comment,
about Sonic Frontiers.
After we saw the Sonic Frontiers art, I tore up my my picture of my locket of Amy Rose. Sorry, Rouge the Bat, because you know me. I'm a Rouge the Bat fan.
Sure. Still want to see the full blowout of this game. I feel like there has to be something we haven't yet seen. Yet. That's the thing, is they're confident that everything will be fine because like we just don't get it yet, which is also Ubisoft's defense of NFTs. Gamers just don't get it yet. Gamers apparently just don't understand Sonic Frontiers, which could be true. And I just, from what we've seen, it just feels like there's some element we haven't yet seen about the game. And I just need some sort of overview. This is the structure of this game type of video. Like, I still don't think that we know enough, and the game comes out in the fall or holiday,
it's
whenever.
November, right? I think, or no, they have.
Is it November?
They set a date. Yeah,
I don't know.
Says holiday, which could mean like late October to January 1st.
I mean, it could be any holiday. It could be Easter.
We are dropping Sonic Frontiers on Memorial Day as we think Sonic is the embodiment.
Furniture and cars have had too much of the fun.
The veterans of the Iraq War.
Exactly. Sonic is a true member of the 9/11 community.
Sonic backs the blue, and that's why you should too.
Fuck. Sonic's best friend is a cop.
Fuck.
Yeah.
We need more anti-cop games. Like Grand Theft Auto 6, whenever that's coming out.
There's actually good news about that. So in 2018, Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, and there was a giant, I think it might have been Bloomberg or Kotaku. I think it was a Jason Schreier initial reporting, but there's lots of reporting. Rockstar's company culture sucks shit. They don't really treat their testers or QA people like people who are part of the company. Just awful things, frat boyisms. That's why these games still have you mash the X button to run. Like, some of these high-ranking people are just like, nope, that's just what we're doing, or whatever. Any case, new report, everything's changing over there for the better. Everything is actually good. And it's one of these weird success stories of like, they didn't just say, fuck you, we were still going to be us. Like, major changes happening. And GTA 6 now actually seems exciting. So, actually, yeah.
Well, wasn't it a rumor? I don't know if it's true that like you're going to play as a woman as one of the characters, and people are upset about that.
The initial rumor from a couple years ago was, GTA 5 has those three characters. 6 is going to also be not those three characters, but 3 characters, and one of them is a woman. The new report is it's just 2 people, and she's the main one. Because the initial rumor is like, oh, she's the hacker thing. This one kind of states as more as like, no, she's like the Nico Bellic, or she's the CJ, and there's another person that you can swap to. That doesn't necessarily seem like they're as of a main character. That's at least how I understood
that game.
This report.
Whatever it is, that game is going to sell a shit ton.
Yeah. But in any case, Sonic Frontier is probably not going to sell a shit ton. But who knows? I mean,
as we get closer, we should do some sort of wager or like...
Ooh, a bet?
Yeah, but not like between us, but like for the we have to do an episode on this if this happens, or something fun. If Sonic's
Metacritic is above or below 80, which I feel like is super fair and easy for it to go above 80, regardless of quality. But we did a whole episode on Sonic's Metacritic past, to be fair, and most don't go above 80. So I guess this is a fair bet, but like it's something like that.
Is our expectation,
where like
though. Like at least
we do a wager of, okay, so what would we do our
if we
lose?
Time to think about it. But like, I was just trying to think that like, oh, we have to.
Didn't we say we would cancel the podcast if it was Sonic Forces 2 or something like that? You were serious.
Something like that, or if it won like Game of the Year, like we just like do one episode on the Game of the Year and then that's it. Retire.
You and I had a bet on podcast a year ago over Morbius's box office sales.
I don't remember what the bet.
It didn't matter because the bet was like it was dependent on the date it was coming out in. That was entirely hinged on my argument for how much it was going to be. That's why I said if it gets delayed at all, like it's okay, we'll cancel it because I was going to be right. If it had come out on that day.
Than me too.
I bet less. I bet like next to nothing, and you said it was going to do more. Doesn't matter because Sonic wins and we lose.
Lost
that's
to
it.
Sonic's origins.
Yeah, I don't still even touch that.
Or Sonic the Lost World or Kingdom, whatever it is.
It's just like everything went all Sonic boom.
The name of that one. What's the one where it's like old, like Sonic the Lost Kingdom, lost something? I'm misremembering something.
Sonic Lost World is not as.
That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, but that's like Mario Galaxy. It's not like Ruins.
No, I meant just like Lost, like the title.
Sonic and the Secret Rings, maybe? I don't know.
Sonic and the Wedding Ring? Oh, no.
Sonic and Tails and Knuckles, oh my. Oh, that's a good name for a game, Sonic and Tails and Knuckles.
Oh my.
There we go. Oh, no, not oh my. All right, this has been an episode of the Sonic Movie Show. We got real for a moment, and then we don't really have anything to end our last one on, so whatever. Love your mother, love your brother.
Don't stare at
the sun that heartbeat
too long during an eclipse.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Where you turn orange.
Have someone else do your taxes just to be safe.
Just don't do them.
Or don't. Yeah, if you live off the grid, or if you don't live in the United States, you do not have to do United States taxes. That's a fast fact.
That's true.
Despite United States owning the world, that you actually do not have to do.
That's true. Taxes. Or do what I did and just claim you never got that third stimulus check, and then the government goes, "Yes, you did." I'm like, "Damn it, I didn't get away with it." Nothing happened. They're just like, "Nope, we adjusted your return."
I hate that they already know, and they ask you.
Then why did they ask?
Like, just give
why
me.
Even ask?
Just send me the bill or the check or both, whatever it is, or take it out of the check, whatever you need to do. If I broke even,
feel like,
great.
I feel like their intent is to see if they can get away with not needing to send you as much money.
Could be that.
I would not be surprised.
Or there's also a whole industry for that, so that's money.
Yeah, TurboTax got like sued because they a couple years ago were saying that their product was free and it wasn't. It just wasn't. After a certain date, if you got too close to the deadline, like me that year, you had to pay. And I was like, I thought it was free. So, whatever. We'll see you next time. Have a fantastic day.